Admit it, after watching Infinity War, you whipped out that phone and searched up what that logo in the end credits meant. No need to be ashamed, we can't all be Marvel pros who know all the ins and outs of the entire Marvel universe. If you haven't, however, just know that the next hero to be introduced into the MCU's half-off everything must go sale is Captain Marvel. So, leave the research to us, and listen to these 10 facts about Marvel's newest heroine. Carol Danvers, or Captain Marvel as she's commonly known, may be the missing link between the Avengers
Alright, listen up. Until we can close that portal, our priority is containment.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know what it is.
If it's a weapon, we should use it against Ronan.
In her origin story, she comes into contact with a powerful Kree device and becomes a Kree-human hybrid, gaining a whole slew of crazy powers. Some say this might be her link between the teams from the 2 major film series, but then again, the team behind the upcoming film did mention they might play around with her origin story a bit. Now speaking of crazy powers, wait, she can do that too? When it comes to the superpower lottery, Captain Marvel hit the jackpot. Flight and superhuman strength are some of her more basic powers. Pretty solid start if you ask me. Add energy manipulation and absorption to the mix, and you got yourself a pretty powerful and interesting superhero. Not quite sure what that means for our powered protagonist? Well, Captain Marvel can shoot blasts of pure energy out of her hands. This power is further complemented by how she can absorb energy, such as lightning, to increase her power and further multiply her effectiveness in a fight. There are a few versions of Captain Marvel in the comics, so they might not end up going with this direction when adapting her to the big screen. However, if we are basing it upon the current Captain Marvel, the ones that are up to date with the comic books, these seem to be the powers that we will likely see. Now, if you think you've got some friends in high places, wait till you see who old Carol is hanging around with. In her career in the Marvel comic history, Danvers has been a member of super teams like the Avengers, the Defenders, and even the X-Men. And hey, you know what? Now that I look at it, the Guardians of the Galaxy too. Man, where do I have to go to get friends like that? Dating can be tough, especially if you're a superhero constantly saving the planet from complete annihilation. It can be hard to make time to go out on dates, especially when you have an alien invasion erupting in the heart of New York City. Captain Marvel seems to have found the time though, dating none other than fellow Avenger James Rhodes, also known as War Machine. We're not quite sure if it was a one-time thing or if they're still together. You can imagine it's quite hard keeping up with all the latest gossip, especially when that gossip is classified information. Marvel's not the only universe to have a Captain Marvel. DC had their own character by the exact same name, until the 2 companies got involved into a heated lawsuit, leading DC's captain to have to change his name to Shazam.
Are you for real?
Which coincidentally just dropped its trailer around the same time as Captain Marvel.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
I guess even superheroes aren't immune to bureaucracy. I can't be the only person bad with names, right? I never forget a face, but my mind kinda goes blank when trying to remember what name matches that face. Captain Marvel makes this especially difficult for me, with the amount of times her name and even superpowers have changed over the years. Starting off as Miss Marvel, then moving to Binary, and even later Warbird. Not to mention all the different women who take the title of Captain Marvel, from Monica Rambeau to Phyla-Vell. Whew, really not making this easy on me. Danvers was to appear in 2015's Jessica Jones Netflix series as the protagonist's best friend and confidant. However, Marvel execs greenlit a Captain Marvel movie, and those plans pretty much had to be scrapped. Her role was then replaced by Trish Patsy Walker, who, writers of the show said was a much better fit, as Trish's lack of superpowers offered a good contrast to her bestie. I guess the creators of the show also thought Carol might skew the show a bit, seeing that she's pretty much armed with near god-level powers and all. Not everything in Captain Marvel comics has been perfect, And that can especially be said for Avengers issue 2000. Commonly criticized by critics and hated by fans, the events of this comic actually stain the powerful and inspiring image that Captain Marvel and Danvers herself was intended to be. In this arc, Danvers is taken prisoner by a being called Immortus. Immortus ends up brainwashing her into loving him and even impregnates her against her will. There's a lot more to the story, but it gets pretty grim, and we feel it best just to leave it at that. So by now, we know that Miss Marvel will be portrayed on the big screen by Academy Award winner Brie Larson. Larson has been more than enthusiastic about preparing for the role, and we've gotten to see a few clips of her in the trailer, and even a behind the scenes of her training how to fly. Well, not actually fly, but pretend superhero, edit and post kind of fly. But did you know that 2 other big Hollywood actresses were considered for the role? Both Emily Blunt from Sicario and Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation were considered to play this part. We will have to see if they made the right choice, but our guess is that Miss Larson will knock it out of the park. Names matter, and the prefix before the names are just as important. Before having the title of Captain passed to her by her Kree mentor, Carol Danvers went by Ms. Marvel. You're likely thinking, well, why is that important? To explain, we have to go all the way back to the 1970s, into a time where the prefix Ms. was just coming into common use. It was, and is to this day, a term to distinguish a single woman. When writing her comments in 1977, Jerry Conway wanted to portray a powerful and independent woman. Nice one, Jerry. Captain Marvel should be an amazing addition to the MCU, and hopefully a nice fit for later Avengers movies. What did you think, though? Any neat facts about Captain Marvel that we missed? If so, let us know in the comments down below. Did you learn anything new? Like, subscribe, and hit that little bell if you want to see more of our content.